saying is this the year they have to win? So if they don't win, was it a waste?
Last year's a fluke.
Yeah, okay.
Don't okay me.
All right, so what are we going to discuss on the Devils episode today?
Devils episode?
We have Dougie and Espo.
Oh.
You want to recap last night?
Yeah. We can talk about the game.
Pavel Zacha career high in goals, 14 or 15.
Okay. Talk about what happened after the game.
What happened after the game?
At Reds? And Dean?
Oh, you mean Monday? That was Monday.
Oh, well, we can talk about it yesterday, too.
Yeah, the girl hitting on you.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the expansion draft. All right, sounds like a plan. Burger looks good. You love your burgers. James eating his BLT. So we're good to go. Doug Straw will show up next. No, that's Dougie and Espo, actually. All right, so we had a great day at the mall. Me, Kyle, James had a great meal, a great lunch. Now we're going to head to the studio, the Saraba Broadcasting Studio, one of the best studios in the world for sure, in my opinion. And we're going to discuss the New Jersey Devils, probably recap the National Football League draft, give our thoughts on it, see where we go from there. Wonder where Kyle parked his car. I told him to pick me up, but clearly he didn't listen. My man Kyle.
My man Doug.
Good evening and welcome to another. Actually, we are live from one of the best studios in the world, in my opinion, the Saraba Broadcasting Studios. Today, we are doing another episode of Dougie and Espo, and joining me is Kyle Esposito.
Thank you. Fake applauses. Hi, how are we doing today?
All right. How are you, buddy?
How are you doing, Mr. President?
So, last week was the NFL draft, recapped the National Football League draft, did our own mock draft.
Right.
I had Mac Jones going to the New York Jets.
Yes,
but
you
the
did.
Jets quarterback is Zach Wilson.
It is Zach Wilson, just like I told you, and just like I told y'all last week. What was your thought process, Doug? I want to know, as a Jets fan, what is your thought process behind that Mac Jones pick? Please let me know. Please. As a Jets fan, I was kind of, disappointed because we all know where Mac Jones went. He went to the Patriots. How far down? Very far down. Zach Wilson, number 2, baby.
The way I looked at it was, Mac Jones goes to Alabama. That's a great system to build players.
Mm-hmm.
How many players do you hear with the first, the second, the third pick from Alabama?
Well, tell me. You tell me, when was the last time that happened? Because I can't think of it.
No, but there's a lot of guys that come out from Alabama.
A lot of good
You got
position
Tua,
players.
you got Waddle.
Yeah. Yes.
So I just felt like it would have been better for a guy like Mac Jones to go to a team like the New York Jets.
Right.
Zach Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's a great quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but the last few months he went to their board at number 2.
Right.
We didn't really hear about Zach Wilson consistently throughout his college career.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against the guy, but I just figured, great system.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban is a hell of a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go with a guy from Alabama,
Right.
Mac Jones.
What?
And if they didn't trade Sam Darnold, I saw them going after a guy like Devonta Smith or Jalen Waddle.
That's who I originally wanted to see on the Jets.
So that's why I figured Mac Jones would have been the guy to the Jets.
Mm-hmm. Well, while I understand your reasoning, and we all saw what Tua can do in Alabama, and we saw what Tua can do in the NFL. He had a streak where he didn't give up an interception. Showed promise. There was some. They brought Ryan Fitzpatrick back in just as a precaution for the rest of the season. So when you look at Mac Jones, I understand why you would say that now. It confused me. It definitely confused Nick at work, that's for sure. But Zach Wilson all the way, baby. If you look at Zach Wilson here's my comparisons. You look at him. I think of two players. I think of Russell Wilson. I think of Aaron Rodgers. Here's why. Russell Wilson, a running ability. Man can run all over the goddamn place. Aaron Rodgers. Here's why I think Aaron Rodgers. Here's a video from his pro day. Freaking wide receiver ran a route.
All right, let's give you the floor.
Okay, yes, give me the floor. All right, here's what happened. He was running, and then all of a sudden, flipped his hips. And you know what happened with Aaron Rodgers in that playoff game against the Cowboys? Flipped his hips, Hail Mary touchdown.
And they won that.
And they won that game by the grace of God. And that's all I'm saying. This guy can be the next best thing. Now, he looks like he can be the same height as Kyler Murray. That might be the little issue. I don't know his exact height, but he looks like around Kyler Murray's build. That's a little bit of an issue just because of the issues that came out with Kyler Murray because of his height. But despite all that, Zach Wilson, number 1, baby. Rookie of the year.
We'll see.
We'll see. That Trevor Lawrence guy I heard is good.
So let's talk about Kyle.
Me?
No, Kyle Trask.
Oh.
He's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
For a guy who went to Florida, one of my favorite teams,
Mm-hmm.
back to the Tim Tebow days, Joakim Noah days.
Mm-hmm.
You think he is going to be the successor to the GOAT, Tom Brady?
Well, that's big shoes to fill. Tom Brady kicked the doors down in Tampa Bay, said, "Hi, I go here now," and he won them the Super Bowl. That's big, especially with the pulling power of Tom Brady, able to grab superstars. Just like,
did you see what he said about Julian Edelman?
It's very interesting.
And we talked about
We
this
did talk
last
about
show.
We did talk about this last show, and it's very interesting. When I saw that on Twitter, I was like, "No way did Doug predict this. No way he did." Julian Edelman toying around with Tom Brady, joking that he's going to come to Tampa Bay, but ultimately said he can't leave Foxborough, can't leave Bill Belichick. But, Tom Brady also said, "Oh, come on, kid, you can't be afraid of Bill Belichick," or something like that.
So do we see Julian Edelman be like, "Hey, I want another one"?
It's a great idea. It's a great idea for those hardcore old school Patriots fans that love seeing Tom pass to Julian Edelman back in, it's only been a year since, the last time, 2 years since the last time that's happened. But, Patriots love that dynamic duo or even trio of Edelman, Brady, and Gronk. So maybe we could. He does have the rings. He could go get another one. If it wasn't for Eli Manning, Joe Flacco, or Tom Brady would have 14 rings with him.
Basically, yeah.
And
what's
a couple more?
You have what, like 9? Nick Foles, Eli.
Yeah, Nick Foles, Eli, Joe Flacco,
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Could win a couple more with Edelman, especially if Tom Brady's entering his final years.
I love having a ring. 2018 GMC champion.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I was a team reporter, so.
See, I sucked in Little League, so I didn't win nothing.
I didn't play, I was a reporter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, might as well have been a reporter on the Little League team because we did jack swat. I didn't win no chips. But speaking of chips, I'm hungry. All right, what else we got?
All right, so let's discuss the New Jersey Devils.
Right.
This is a team that they have the young pieces in place, but it seems like they get outshot. We went to the game on Monday. I think the shots were like 39-13. We talked about this on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They got their first shot with 10 minutes remaining in the first period, and then you hear, "Yay!" The sarcasm from the Devil fans.
Yeah.
How do you expect this team to compete when you can't get the shots off?
Well, obviously there needs to be work. There's work to be done.
Do you think it's the system in the place? Do you think it's Windy Ruff? Do you think he has to go? Do you think it's time for?
See, if we were in a full season, a regular season of NHL hockey, I would say maybe Lindy Ruff's the problem, but I think we need to give Lindy Ruff more time to marinate with this team. Just because, we started with Zajac and Paul Mary at the beginning of the year. We thought we were going to have Corey Crawford at the beginning of the year, but he freaking out of there.
He retired. Unexpectedly.
So he had one team to work with, and he had to work with now the youngest team in the NHL.
With the youngest captain.
With the youngest captain in Nico. So, when we have a full season of NHL, when we're playing better teams, then we can actually make a fair estimate on if Lindy Ruff is the problem. But me personally, we have too young of a team because we need those veterans to help those young guys get to where they need to be, and that is the Stanley Cup.
All right, so how important is Nico? We look at prior youngest captains in the league. Sidney Crosby was the youngest captain for the Penguins. He won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid, there was a point where he was the youngest captain in the league. Now it's Nico Hischier. I believe I have 6 years on him. That's crazy to say when these guys are younger than you, and at one point you're looking up to these players. So how important is it for Nico to get to this elite level? To be like Crosby, McDavid, Ovi.
There's a certain amount of weight on Nico's shoulders just because of the names you just mentioned amongst those other captains. If he wants to establish himself amongst those greats, he's already a great player right now, but to get up to their level, he needs to play exceptional good hockey. And I know he didn't really have the best team around him. You got Jack, you got Igor, they've been on fire. He just needs veteran teammates to work with him and make himself better, to elevate his game.
We traded Kyle Palmieri. We traded Travis Zajac.
We did.
Traded Andy Green. Our veterans, and now average age of 22.
We basically have a high school as a team right now, or sophomores in college.
We have the pieces in place. Jaeger Skoringovich, as I like to call him. Had a great breakout rookie season, 14 goals. Pavel Zacha is finally stepping up, career high in goals.
Right.
So how important are these pieces around the team to step up and get to that status where they need to be an NHL competitive team? Because right now, we're not at that level yet.
Well, no, you're exactly right. We're not at that level, and I don't think we'll be at that level for probably, as much as I hate to say this, Doug, for another couple seasons. If we don't start doing what me and you want them to do, it's gonna end up bad. Freaking Nico's gonna sitting there on the Devils, no Stanley Cups, gonna waste his whole career if the Devils don't do something.
We don't want to be in that situation where we gotta trade Nico now. We gotta trade Jack.
And I hope that does not happen at all. And I know you feel the same way. I think they'd be stupid to do so. But yeah, the off season is gonna be pretty big this year.
Pretty interesting. Especially when you have an expansion draft coming up for the Seattle Kraken. And we're gonna discuss that more right after this commercial break. Again, I'm Doug Serraro. Alongside me, we have Kyle Esposito on another episode of Dougie and Espo. We'll be right back.
Where the Monroe Falcons are playing the St. Joseph of McCutcheon Falcons.
Past that game's history, we have a state's championship on our mind now.
The Ranch, the Buffalo.
It all works together very nicely.
Welcome to Falcons Insider.
Falcons Insider.
On today's episode, we're doing a lot of great work. This is work that people said couldn't have been done before.
A lot of money doing something you love.
Re-elected team reporter.
Yeah, what a season that was for you. 54 points in 18 games.
But definitely, when I said that we're going to win GMCs, I think that's another one that we remember. Yeah.
That's without history. You just said it with so much confidence.
We are back on another episode of Dougie and Espo, starring myself and Kyle Esposito. We have some breaking news to announce. John Means of the Baltimore Orioles currently has a no-hitter through 8 innings. If he reaches that accomplishment, we will give you that update. But I figured that was important to let everyone know that John Means of the Baltimore Orioles has a no-hitter. All right, so Kyle, welcome back.
Hi.
So, expansion draft.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting for this New Jersey Devils team, for sure. A lot of young pieces that they have to protect and keep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am going to start with the most important position in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to start by protecting Mackenzie Blackwood. I know he had an inconsistent season this year, but we have to understand that the Devils don't really have the best defense in the league. And I think when you improve that defense, I truly believe, I can't wait to see what you got because you're laughing. I truly believe that this Devils team can ride on Mackenzie Blackwood. They're going to be winning hockey games with him. He looked great last year. And I think by having Kevin Ball on this team, that is going to help Mackenzie's game moving forward.
Okay.
So, who are you going to be protecting?
Well, see, first of all, as much as I love Blackwood, you know, I've seen what he's been able to do. You don't gotta tell me otherwise. But
what?
But there's just something about that Mr. Wedgwood that I love.
So you're gonna bring Wedgwood back and Blackwood is heading to
You
Seattle?
know, if I had to choose between the two Woods, I choose the Wedge one. Just because, you
Why,
know...
though?
Doug, okay, I want to preface this. I'm a new hockey fan, right? So anything that comes out of my mouth is absolute garbage most of the time. But when it comes to Mr. Wedgwood, I've seen enough to know that he can be better than him. Yeah, what is he, 70% of the time? I don't know, there's something about Mr. Wedge. He's got a Stanley Cup. He's got a Stanley Cup,
Yeah, he
Mr.
does.
Wedgwood. I just like the way he plays, the way I saw him on Monday. I just love the way he moves.
He did play good.
He played very well for the 3
But
goals.
he's 27.
He's 27.
He's in his late 20s.
Okay? How old's Tuukka Rask?
But he's a competitive goalie.
Yeah, but if I feel like if we give
Rask has been there for the long run.
the two other goalies that we have on our squad.
We have Mackenzie Blackwood. We have Evan Cormier, Aaron Dell.
Okay, where are those two right now? Exactly. So that Wedgwood, all the way, baby.
All right. So I'm going to start with defense.
Okay.
I am going to bring back Will Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Will Butcher will be coming back for next season.
Mm-hmm.
I like his game. He's improved his game over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to be that important left-handed shot that we need along with Kevin Ball.
Agreed. I agree with you just because you did mention to me before at Red Robin's that Mr. Subban's cap hit would be $9 million.
$9 million.
$9 million. So I will agree with you on that point. I will also say Butcher, just because I like his game as well. I like watching his game.
All right, so when we look at this Devils team, it is a very young team. And we don't have that old guy.
Yeah.
But his name is Damon Severson. He is basically the only veteran this organization has because we got rid of Palmieri and Zajac. So Severson is an important piece. And we're going to have to keep him.
I agree. I will also put Severson's name on there for the same reasons. Watching Severson play the last couple years has been a joy, and I would like to further see his career continue in the red and white. And black.
All right. Or green.
Or green, depending on the day.
All right. Now, I know this guy is a free agent, but I think he could improve. And I think he could get better as the years go on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tom brought him in for a change of scenery. And I know he's a free agent, but I believe that if we do keep him, maybe we could find a way to trade him. I'm not sure how the free agency thing works at the time of the expansion draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Vegas made a few trades with a few teams.
Right.
I'm going to bring back Ryan Murray. And if we find a way to extend him, I think this is huge for this Devils organization.
I agree. I like Murray as well. Oh, and here's an update. John Means no hits the Mariners. That's another no-hitter in Major League Baseball.
So John Means has no hit the Seattle Mariners. John Means of the Baltimore Orioles made history today.
So how many is that this year? 4?
Something like that.
4 no-hitters
if
this
you
year?
count Madison Bumgarner's.
Well, yes, it's 7-inning no-hitter. So we'll say 3.5. I'm gonna go a little bit different than Murray, as I do want to keep
12
Murray.
strikeouts, cool.
12 strikeouts. Wow. I think the obvious person to put on this board that we haven't put on this board yet is obviously, I'm just gonna put C as a captain. So you gotta keep your captain.
So you are keeping Nico.
I'm keeping captain.
All right. What about your third defenseman?
My third defenseman? Let's see. Who did I have on this list, as I am not prepared right now? Let's see. One of my defensemen is probably, well, again, kind of new hockey team, kind of new hockey fan, so I don't know how you're gonna friggin' react to this one, but I'm gonna keep Mr. Connor Carrick.
Connor Carrick?
Connor Carrick.
I mean, he has his up and downs, but I think he could be a good defenseman.
I think the way he plays, I also enjoy watching as a fan. He has that no bullshit attitude kind of a play, and
we need that.
And I like that out of a player in any sport that I watch.
All right, so to update the fans, you have Wedgwood, I have Blackwood. On defense, you have Carrick, Severson, Butcher. I have Butcher, Severson, Murray. So we're kind of looking different right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to my first forward.
Okay.
I'm going Yegor. I think this guy is going to be a huge part of our team. He's proven that he could be that scorer that the Devils have always lacked.
Mm-hmm.
And if he could improve, play with a good guy on wing or center, Yegor is going to be a huge part for this New Jersey Devils organization.
Mm-hmm. And I 100% agree with you, just because between Monday and now I've spoke nothing but high praise for Mr. Igor. So I will also put him on my list as people that we need to keep. We need to, hold on, let me have the marker real quick. See, we have the C over here, and we're going to put a line. We're going to connect it to Igor, because those are the two you need to build around. If you can build around those two people.
For a guy that doesn't really know anything about hockey, yet I like this.
It's just simple. What Igor's been able to do, what I've seen pop up on my phone, the amount of goals, the amount of points he's been able to accumulate, and Nico being the captain that he is, there's no question that you need those two key players.
All right. Now let's go to Yanni Kuokkanen.
Yanni Kuokkanen. Who did I have? Let's see.
I think he's going to be a huge piece for us.
Mm-hmm.
They have him on the first line now, but I think he will be a good third or fourth liner.
Mm-hmm.
Or even a second liner for this Devils organization. All right, since we're not in the same number, I'm going to add another guy. Michael McLeod.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I didn't like the guy, but the more he's been playing, I really like the way he's been performing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good depth forward, putting up goals and points. He's a good grinder.
Mm-hmm.
He may be that third and fourth line forward. He's the guy you need to win Stanley Cups and go on a playoff run. But I also think this is a guy who maybe can work his way to the second line.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's a third and fourth liner, but if he plays the way he's been playing and gets to that level for a 12th pick, I see him being a second liner.
I agree with you. From the first time that I saw Michael McLeod play to now, he has improved tremendously, so I agree with you. I'm not going to put Mikey, though. on my side, just because I have another person in mind that I want to include on this board. I have, how many forwards do I need to protect?
You got it all checked.
Okay. All right. The next one on my list is someone that is one of my personal favorites. The person the person's jersey I will buy next is Woody.
Miles Wood?
Woody.
So you got the Wedge and the Miles.
Yep. That is my pick just because I am impressed at how fast he is. He also can kick some ass.
I got Wood too.
I love Miles.
And with me having Wood, that means Nathan Basin will be exposed for Seattle.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with the two obvious, Nico.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Brett. And the one guy that I think could improve his game is Pavel Zacha. He's been playing phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
And I think he is going to get to that level he needs to be as a 6th pick overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him a few years ago at the game. Mm-hmm. He was in the press. He didn't play. He was in the press box. Mm-hmm. We took a photo together. I was like, "That next year's your year." And he's been improving year after year.
Right.
So I'm truly hoping, Pavel, if you're watching this, your career is about to reach the point it needs to reach. You're going to be a huge part for this New Jersey Devils organization.
I certainly believe so as well because, watching Pavel Zacha over the years, can't really argue with you, Doug. We're also forgetting another key important part of this team. Jackie boy. I love me some Jack Hughes. Yeah.
So, this is the funny part of the show now. Jack Hughes is not eligible for the expansion draft.
I'm just making sure.
So Jack Hughes will be a double.
Well, he will be. I'm just saying. If we do anything, we gotta lock him up. We gotta draw a little lock right there. We gotta draw a little keyhole. We need him on this team. He might, anything can happen. He can say, "Go fuck yourself, Devils." You never know. We gotta lock him up. There you go. Lock the key. Where's the key? Right there. Right there.
And we do apologize for Kyle's language on the show.
Oh yeah, I'm a sailor. Yeah.
All right, so Kyle,
just doubling down that he's protected. All right, he might already be protected. I'm just making sure that he's protected. I don't want him to go nowhere. I love me some Jackie Hughes.
So we have more to get to. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back for our brand new segment.
Where the Monroe Falcons are playing the St. Joseph of McCutcheon Falcons.
Past that game's history, we have a state's championship on our mind now.
The ranch, the buffalo.
It all works together very nicely.
Welcome to Falcons Insider.
Falcons Insider.
On today's episode, we're doing a lot of great work. This is work that people said couldn't have been done
A
before.
lot of money doing something you love.
Re-elected team reporter.
Yeah, what a season that was for you. 54 points in 18 games.
But definitely, when I said that we're going to win GMCs, I think that's another one that remember. Yeah.
Go down in history. You just said it with so much confidence.
All right, we are back on the Doug Saravo Show. Actually, this is Dougie and Espo. Doug Saravo Show stars many different people from, actually, Kyle Esposito's on sometimes. We have Andrew Mackin, Mark Murrow. We had Brandon Shorts. We had Andrew Brem. Matt Gizzy comes on every once in a while. So this is a brand new segment, and Kyle will be joining me soon. It's called Stutz Betting. Stutz Betting, it's our friend Michael Lepore. He's known as Stutz. And what we're going to do is we are going to pick the top 5 teams that can win the Stanley Cup this year.
Okay.
So out of those 5 teams, whoever's watching, you want to bet those teams? Feel free. All right, so let's go with the first team for each of us.
God, hold on, I gotta get the playoff bracket in front of me, face. Because I don't know exactly who's on this.
So how do you want to do this?
Well, we each pick, 5
We each
teams.
pick 5.
And number 1 meaning like, oh, you should definitely bet on them? Is that what we're doing here?
All right, let's do 5 through 1,
Okay.
least to the greatest.
Okay.
All right, we're going to talk more to Mike and see how he wants to work his segment stuff spending.
Okay, let me just... NHL, playoff, professional, BTW, playoff, there you go.
All right.
All right.
So my first team that I'm going to go with is the New York Islanders. A while ago I said I think they could win the Stanley Cup. They're going to be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like ever since the trade deadline, they've been struggling. They lost last night to the Buffalo Sabres, so I really don't see the Islanders going as far as I thought they were.
Right.
And I think it's going to be an up and down. It's going to be difficult for them to get to the Stanley Cup and win the Stanley Cup this year, Kyle. Let's go with your number 5, and I'll write it down for you.
Okay, my number 5, if I can find it. Really, the Panthers are in the playoffs?
Yeah, Panthers.
Okay, all right, give me that. All right, if I had to say that, I was gonna go with the Florida Panthers. Just because, last time I saw them live, they were crap. So, I don't know.
Well, now they are one of the top teams in the league.
They are? All right. Well, I think they're going to choke. So, I don't think... Stanley Cup doesn't really spell out Panthers. So, I'm going to go with number 5.
All right. Number 4.
Okay.
I am going to have to go with the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
That is number 4 for me. And I know they've been hungry the past few years. They've had the opportunities to get there. I just don't trust their goaltending.
Okay.
I trust Philip Grubauer, but you need depth to win the Stanley Cup. And let's say Grubauer goes into one of those funks where he struggles. We saw it with the Washington Capitals in 2018. He started Game 1 and Game 2 of the first round.
Okay.
And he struggled.
Okay.
And they went to Braden Holtby, and Holtby found his game again. So I don't think the Avalanche have that backup that they need to win a Stanley Cup. They have the players for sure. I just don't trust the backup situation, just in case he does struggle. And who are you going to go to? Pablo Francouz?
Okay.
Devin Dubnyk?
Okay.
I just don't see it happening.
He talks to me like I know these players. I love it. Okay, let's see. My 4th pick, as an outsider, I'm going to go with the Wild.
The Wild?
The Wild, just because I don't hear the Wild all too much on ESPN, so I'm gonna go.
Well, you don't really hear that much hockey on ESPN,
Well,
but we will next year as they got rights to broadcast their games.
Heard that. All right.
So why do you say the Wild?
Well, for that exact reason. For me personally, I don't hear them in the news all that often. So, therefore, number 4.
Number 4. All right, let's start with your number 3.
With my number 3? Okay, let's see. Out of these, I'm going to go with... Give me the marker, sir. I'm going to go with... Oh, this is tough. Hey, not really. Carolina.
The Carolina Hurricanes?
Carolina Hurricanes. Same reason as the other 3. Haven't heard their name. Haven't heard the Hurricanes in the news.
Let me take a look at this.
So, number 3.
Not bad. All right, cool. All right, for my number 3 team, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we were talking to our producer at Red Robin.
Mm-hmm.
He said they don't have the goaltending.
Right.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way they've been playing. They got on such a hot streak that they're now one of the top teams in the league. They're on pace to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that they have one of the best chances to win the Stanley Cup. They have the experience. Guys are getting healthy again. Gino is going to come back. Tanev is going to come back. And I really like the move of Jeff Carter. This is something like the LA Kings did. They went out and they got Jeff Carter from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And, we know what happened in 2012.
Okay.
I hate talking about it.
Brings back nightmares for old Dougie.
So, number 2. Who's your second best team?
I think my second best team would have to be the old crew, the Islanders.
Yeah, you think they have one of the best shots to win the Stanley Cup?
Well, I don't want to disrespect Kyle. I don't want to disrespect Travis. I don't want to disrespect Andy. I think the Islanders, in my opinion, could be one of the
I think so too, but I
teams.
just don't. I see them going down. All right, let's go to my number 2 team,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be an interesting pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs,
Okay.
and I originally said the Vegas Golden Knights had the best shot to win the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
But I just don't know what direction they're going to go in regards to the goaltending. That's a big question mark for me. You have 2 great goaltenders in Leonard and Fleury. But who will be that starter? Or are they going to split? And that cost them last year in the playoffs, the bubble playoffs, where they went back and forth to their goaltenders. And they ultimately lost to the Dallas Stars.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, Vegas would be the 16th.
Okay.
But they have the depth, but I just don't see them going anywhere.
Okay.
Let's go to your number 1 team.
My number one. Ooh. Decisions. Obvious choice can be Lightning repeating. Another one can be Vegas. But we're gonna go with what I saw on Monday. Let's go with the Bruins. That's number 1, Taylor Hall. Number 2, 3, 4. I like the team, just the combination of Bergeron and freaking Tuca and that other guy. I keep forgetting his name, Marchand and freaking Pasternak. Yeah, I've been in, not even just like recently, but like I've heard their names been talked about for years, right? And then we got Taylor Hall part of that team now, who scored a goal. Was it yesterday? He scored a goal yesterday. So I'm gonna go with this Bruins team. This Bruins team looks good to me.
I think this is going to come to a shock to everyone.
What?
Because I don't think anyone expects them to go far.
Who?
I'm going with the Boston Bruins.
Wow, you're going Bruins too?
Yeah, just the way I like the way they've been playing ever since they went out and got Taylor Hall. He's been one of the best acquisitions. The Boston Bruins won that trade deadline. Taylor Hall looks so happy to be a Bruin.
Mm-hmm.
And for a few earlier in the season, the Bruins looked like a team that they didn't really have a 3-4 line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have Corrali, they have DeBrusque, they have Smith, but they don't really have that depth to go far and win the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since they got Taylor Hall, the chemistry's been there. Tuukka Rask has been playing better. This Bruins team is getting hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the teams that we put up here, I think the Bruins are going to be the best team to bet to win the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Because their odds won't be high. They're going to be that 4th spot in the East Division, and they're going to surprise a lot of people.
I believe so too, just because Taylor Hall
is going to
on
be
top
hungry.
of what they had is just a step above. So at least we can agree on that one for an actual good reason.
Kyle has for his playoff, his Stutz betting.
And if you are a degenerate gambler, do not go with my picks, please. Do not go with my picks.
We got the Florida Panthers, the Minnesota Wild, the Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Islanders, the Boston Bruins. For me, I got the New York Islanders, the Colorado Avalanche, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Boston Bruins.
And if you were smart, you'd go with his picks instead.
Yeah. So that was our brand new segment called Stutz Betting.
Yeah, it shows you how much I know about hockey. But we can agree on one thing, Doug, is that the Boston Bruins
will win the
Stanley Cup.
So next week, or whenever we do a next show, we really need to get Stutz here and have him do a whole betting segment.
Yes, but we need to see who will be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, we could do that.
Oh, look at me booking next week's show.
Yeah. All right, thank you for joining us on another episode of Dougie and Espo. The Doug Serravo Show should be back next Monday. All depends if Kyle and I go to the Devil and the Flyer game in Philadelphia. We should be back alive.
Hopefully.
If I wear my Devil jersey, but I've been there before. People respect me there. I don't cause trouble. But we shall see when the Doug Serravo Show returns. I'm currently in talks with Mark Merrill, so we may have something tomorrow. But if we don't go to the Double Flyer game, it will be on Monday, 9 p.m. We're going to do we'll do the playoff show the following week, or we'll see when the schedule is, and we'll do that. But again, thank you for joining us on the Dougie and Espo Show. The Doug Serravo Show will be right back in the near future. It hasn't ended yet. We've just been busy. Espo?
Mr. President?
Thank you.
Growing up, I wanted to be in the NHL. I wanted to be just like my idol, Martin Brodeur. In life, sometimes you win some, but sometimes you will lose some. Being successful isn't about chasing a paycheck. Being successful is about chasing your passion and building a foundation to where you want to be. You only live once, so you might as well do what you love. Think big. Don't just settle. People are going to hate, doubt, and tell you that you can't. But if you put your mind to something, nothing is impossible. Think big.